In the vast, cold expanse of the universe, civilizations rise and fall like whispers in the void. Empires spanning thousands of light years crumble into dust, their legacies erased by time. But among them, there is one species that does not conform to the patterns of history. A species that defies the natural order. A species that should not exist as it does, and yet it thrives. Humans. To the countless beings that observe the cosmos, humanity is an anomaly and aberration. They are not the strongest. They are not the fastest. Their technology is primitive compared to the great civilizations that have walked the stars for eons. And yet, time and time again, they achieve the impossible. They push forward when all logic dictates they should fall. For most species, existence follows a cycle. Expansion, stability, decline, extinction. This is the way of the universe. But humans break the cycle. They do not surrender to fate. They do not accept their place in the grand hierarchy of life. When faced with destruction, they rebuild. When thrown into chaos, they adapt. They are the only known species that has turned every disaster, every catastrophe, into an opportunity. Where others perish, humans persist. And that persistence terrifies those who watch from the shadows. It is not just their resilience. It is their ability to evolve. Not biologically, but mentally, strategically. Most species wage war only when necessary. Humans, however, refine war into an art. They innovate not just for survival, but for dominance. They do not merely fight to exist, they fight to win. Their history is filled with bloodshed. Yet each war only sharpens them, makes them more dangerous, more cunning. Other species fight with tactics, with strategies passed down through generations. Humans, however, fight with something far more unpredictable: ingenuity. Their battles are not determined by superior numbers or advanced weapons, but by their ability to think beyond the limits of conventional warfare. They will use the very laws of physics against their enemies. They will turn the environment into a weapon. They will exploit weaknesses that no one even knew existed. And when they have no advantages left, they will create them. But the most terrifying truth about humans is not their ability to fight. It is their willingness to do so, no matter the cost. When their backs are against the wall, they do not submit. They do not plead for mercy. They become something else entirely, something unstoppable. And so, the universe watches, wary of the creatures that defy logic, the creatures that refuse to break. No matter how many times humanity is struck down, they rise again. No matter how many wars they fight, they never truly lose. Because to them, war is not a battle for survival. It is a test, a crucible, a proving ground for something far greater. And that is why the galaxy fears them. They came from the stars, descending upon Earth like gods. Their technology was beyond comprehension. Ships the size of cities, weapons that could vaporize mountains. The invasion was swift, calculated. The invaders had done this before. Hundreds of civilizations had fallen to them without a fight. They expected humanity to be no different. At first, it seemed they were right. Major cities fell in hours. Earth's defenses crumbled against technology thousands of years ahead of its own. The invaders broadcasted a simple message across every screen, every frequency: submit and you will be spared. Most species would have surrendered. It was a logical choice, the only choice. A primitive species standing against a galactic empire was suicide. But humans do not follow logic. They do not accept the inevitable. And when pushed to the brink, they do not submit. They retaliate. At first, the resistance was expected. Every conquered race had its rebels, small, desperate groups clinging to hope. But the invaders soon realized something was different. This was not a feudal struggle. It was a war unlike any they had ever fought. They destroyed cities, expecting humans to break. Instead, the survivors adapted. They fought with tactics the invaders had never encountered. They weaponized their own planet. using terrain, weather, and even biology as tools of destruction. Cities were turned into death traps. Supply lines vanished overnight. Entire battalions disappeared into forests, never to be seen again. The invaders had superior firepower. Humans had something far more dangerous: ingenuity. They hijacked enemy technology, using crude tools to dismantle and repurpose alien weapons. They launched cyber attacks, corrupting vital systems, shutting down warships with viruses crafted on outdated computers. They turned their own bodies into weapons, strapping bombs to themselves, ambushing enemy patrols with nothing but blades and fire. The invaders were not prepared for this. They had studied humanity's biology, their structures, their military, but they had not studied their minds. They had not considered that humans would sacrifice everything, burn their own cities, destroy their own land, just to deny the enemy victory. What was supposed to be an effortless conquest turned into a nightmare. The invaders found themselves trapped, hunted, broken. The longer they fought, the more humans adapted, learning, evolving, becoming deadlier with every battle. And then the unthinkable happened. The great empire, the conquerors of 100 worlds, retreated. They left without ceremony, without warning. One moment, their ships darkened the sky. The next, they were gone, vanishing into the void, leaving behind only the ruins of a failed invasion. No explanations, no negotiations, no final battle, only fear. Fear of a species that should not have won. Fear of a species that refused to break. Fear of a species that, given time, might not just resist but conquer. And somewhere, in the depths of the cosmos, the message spread: do not engage the humans, under any circumstances. They don't understand us. They never have. The other species of the galaxy, the great empires and wise civilizations, believe they know the nature of war. They believe it is a contest of strength, numbers, and strategy. They have fought their wars with honor, with rules, with restraint. Humans do not. We do not wage war for conquest alone. We do not fight merely to defend ourselves. No! War is something deeper for us, something instinctual, something in our very nature. The first time an alien commander sat across from a captured human soldier, they expected fear. They expected pleading. They expected surrender. Instead, the human laughed even in chains, even beaten and bloodied. The human showed no fear. It was then that the universe began to understand. There is something in humans that others do not possess, a defiance that goes beyond survival. Most species, when captured, cooperate. They beg. They adapt to their new reality. But humans resist, even when it serves no purpose. They spit in the face of their captors. They escape from the impossible. They fight even when death is certain, not for victory, not for survival, but simply because they refuse to be controlled, and it breaks something in those who try to conquer them. There is a story whispered among the stars of an empire that once enslaved entire worlds. When they took humans, they thought they would break as easily as the others, but instead their empire fell, not from invasion, not from battle, but from the sheer, relentless refusal of humans to bow. The slaves did not wait for a savior. They became their own. They burned their masters' cities, turned their own chains into weapons, and fought not until they were free, but until their captors no longer existed. The galaxy took notice. There are things that are feared in war: superior firepower, numbers, tactics. But the one thing no species can fight is an enemy that does not know when to stop. Humans do not fight for victory alone. They fight for revenge, for pride, for sheer, unstoppable defiance. They are creatures that do not surrender. They are creatures that do not forget. And they are creatures that, if you wrong them, will ensure you regret it, whether in a day, a year, or 1,000 years. So now, the universe watches them with something more than caution. It watches with fear, because humanity's greatest weapon is not its technology, not its armies, It is the simple, horrifying truth that no matter how strong you are, no matter how advanced your civilization may be, humans will find a way, and they will win. They thought we were dangerous before. They have no idea what's coming next. For centuries, the galaxy feared humanity because of our ability to wage war, to fight against impossible odds and emerge victorious. But war was never the end goal. It was only the beginning, because humans do not just survive. They do not just adapt. They evolve. The great empires of the universe have watched with unease as humanity has spread beyond Earth. Not as conquerors, but as something far worse, pioneers. Planets that other species deemed uninhabitable, we made them home. Harsh, frozen wastelands, barren deserts, toxic atmospheres. Places where no life should have thrived, we colonized without hesitation. Not through brute force, not through overwhelming numbers, but through sheer, relentless determination. And that, more than war, is what truly terrifies them. Because if humans can turn the worst environments into strongholds, if they can survive on planets where no other species dares to tread, what happens when they no longer need to fight? What happens when they turn their intelligence, their ingenuity, their sheer refusal to die, toward progress? It has already begun. The first warning signs are there. Scientific breakthroughs at speeds that defy logic. Technologies appearing centuries before they should. We took the scraps of fallen empires, the ruins of civilizations far older than our own, and we did what no one else could. We improved them. We made them stronger, more efficient, more dangerous. And now, the question haunting every species in the galaxy is simple. What happens when humans are no longer the underdogs? They fear war, but that is a mistake. The true fear should not be of human conquest. It should be of human dominance. Because war is temporary. Empires rise and fall. But humans do not just build empires. They build legacies. They build things that last. They have seen what we can do with so little. They have seen us fight with nothing but our minds and our willpower. And now, they see us turning that same willpower towards something far greater. What happens when humanity unlocks the full potential of its own mind? What happens when we evolve beyond the limits of flesh? When we step beyond the constraints of mortality itself? There are whispers that some species have already made their decision. Some have chosen to ally with us, to stand beside us in hopes that they will be spared. Others have chosen a different path. To run, to retreat to the furthest reaches of space, to hide in the darkness and pray that humanity never comes for them. But it will not matter, because humanity is not just another civilization, not just another empire. Humanity is inevitable, and one day, even the gods will fear our name.